There has been a lot going on in the world of Bitcoin in the last 24 to 48 hours or so. We've seen moves to the upside, we've seen collapses to the downside, rallies back up again, lots of liquidations on both shorts and longs. We've got some interesting news going on as well when it comes to BTC. We see open interest increasing, we see Tesla moving Bitcoin around. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking it all down. I'm going to go through the latest news when it comes to Bitcoin. We're going to be taking a look at the technical analysis on the 1 hour and the daily timeframes, and I'll be sharing my ideas as to where I think the next trade opportunities are. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, and let's get right into it. All right, let's kick things off with Bitcoin's recent performance. Over the past few days, Bitcoin's price has gained a solid 8% between October 14th and 15th, and it's up 11.5% over the past 30 days. That's some impressive growth, especially when you consider that it's especially outperforming the S&P 500, which only gained 3.8% during the same time period. But here's where things get really interesting. The demand for leverage in Bitcoin futures has jumped, with open interest reaching a whopping $38 billion. That's the highest level since January 2023. We're seeing a rising appetite for leverage, which signals that traders are feeling more confident or they're a bit too confident. Some traders are a bit concerned that this sharp increase in demand for Bitcoin leverage could pose potential risks. High open interest can sometimes lead to cascading liquidations if unexpected price swings occur. But let's break this down in a bit more detail. So what exactly is causing this surge in futures open interest? Well, data shows that the total number of Bitcoin futures contracts reached 566,270 on October 15th, the highest since January 2023. In dollar terms, the open interest stands at $38 billion, just 2.5% below its all-time high of March 28th, 2024. This indicates a clear increase in demand for leverage Bitcoin positions and Bitcoin derivatives. Now, considering Bitcoin's strong performance lately, it's understandable why investors are increasing their positions through derivative contracts. Plus, there were $810 million in net inflows into US-listed Bitcoin spot ETFs between October 11th and 14th, which has further fueled bullish sentiment and signaled increased institutional interest. But here's the thing. While the rise in open interest might suggest growing optimism, it's important to remember that for every buyer in a futures contract, there's a seller. So to figure out whether this pressure is coming from buyers, longs, or sellers, shorts, we need to look at the Bitcoin's futures premium. Bitcoin's monthly futures usually have a cost due to their extended settlement periods, and sellers typically require a 5% or 5 to 10% annualized premium to compensate for this delay. On October 15th, the Bitcoin futures premium reached 10% as Bitcoin's price spiked to $67,885. But here's the kicker. The indicator still failed to surpass the threshold, signaling a bullish market. So, despite the temporary surge in demand from leverage longs, the overall market structure for Bitcoin remains balanced between bulls and bears. This means that while there's increased activity, it's not necessarily tipping the scale in favor of a massive bull run just yet. And for those worried about potential liquidations due to high leverage, there's some good news. Even though Bitcoin's price fluctuated by 8.6% on October 15th, derivative exchanges only forcibly liquidated less than $70 million in BTC future positions. That suggests that traders are exercising restraint in their leverage use, which reduces the likelihood of cascading liquidations in the short term. So, what's the takeaway here? The surge in open interest shows that traders are re-engaging with the market, possibly anticipating more price action. However, the balanced future premium indicates that the market isn't overheating. competing. Traders seem to be cautiously optimistic, using leverage, but not going too overboard. From a social sentiment perspective, the crypto community is buzzing about Bitcoin's strong performance. Many are excited about the potential for Bitcoin to break past its previous highs. On forums and social media, there's lots of speculation that we might see Bitcoin challenging the elusive $70,000 mark soon. However, seasoned traders are urging caution. They're reminding everyone that while the signs are positive, the market can be unpredictable. It's essential to keep an eye on these indicators and to not get too swept up in all of that hype. Now, let's switch gears and talk about Tesla. In a surprising move, Tesla has transferred its entire Bitcoin stash, worth over $765 million, to several unknown wallets. That's 11,500 Bitcoin moved across 26 transactions, including some test transactions. The first test transfer happened on October 15th at 8:41 p.m. UTC, and now the original wallet holds just $6.68 worth of BTC. Now, before this sudden activity, Tesla's Bitcoin wallet had been dormant since June 17th, 2022. So naturally, this has sparked a lot of curiosity and speculation in the crypto community. What's even more intriguing is that there's no sign that the Bitcoin has been sent to crypto exchanges, and Tesla hasn't publicly disclosed any plans to offload its crypto holdings. So the big question is, why did Tesla move its Bitcoin, and what does it mean? There's a few theories floating around at the moment. One possibility is that Tesla is simply reorganizing its crypto holdings for security purposes, moving funds to new wallets to basically enhance security measures. Companies often do this to prevent potential hacks and unauthorized access. Another theory is that Tesla might be preparing to sell or has already sold its Bitcoin holdings, but without sending them to exchanges. This seems less likely, given that there's no evidence of the Bitcoin hitting exchanges. It's possible Tesla still retains control over all of these assets. It's also worth noting that Tesla is set to release its third quarterly financial results after market close on October 23. Details on these Bitcoin transfers, or whether Tesla has sold its stack, could be disclosed then. As a bit of background, Tesla first purchased Bitcoin in February 2021, buying $1.5 billion worth. They sold some in the following months, but have held onto significant amounts since then. The crypto community is abuzz with speculation about Tesla's moves. On social media, some are wondering if Elon Musk has something up his sleeve. Is Tesla gearing up to accept Bitcoin payments again? Are they planning a big announcement? Others are more cautious, suggesting that it's just routine asset management. Interestingly, Bitcoin's price wasn't materially impacted by Tesla's transfer. Bitcoin is trading around $66,790 at the point of recording, up 1% in the last 24 hours. This suggests that the market isn't overly concerned about the movement of Tesla's Bitcoin, at least not yet. Some analysts believe that if Tesla were to sell a large portion of its Bitcoin holdings, it could put downward pressure on the price. But since there's no indication of a sell-off, the market remains steady. Elon Musk's relationship with Bitcoin has always been a bit of a roller coaster. Remember when Tesla started accepting Bitcoin payments in March 2021, only to reverse that decision a few weeks later. And let's not forget that Musk's other company, SpaceX, still holds 8,285 Bitcoin worth over $553 million, making it the seventh largest Bitcoin holding private firm. Okay, so let's take a look at the technical analysis here for Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin paired up with USDT. We're on the 1 hour Binance chart here, and we can see we've had a pretty good progression to the upside. In the previous videos, we were talking about a potential run and a rally up to the $66,781 to $67,950. I called it kind of I'll say $68,000 flat. Yesterday, we did see a massive kind of roller coaster of a ride. We obviously saw some liquidations that kind of did push the Bitcoin's price back down. So we call it kind of pump and dump. Here we can see, of course, that we did reach yesterday, 1400 hours UTC, a peak of $67,950 before coming all the way back down to a low of $64,800. We are back up inside this range at the moment, and it does still look like we are holding support of the 50 EMA and 50 SMAs on this 1 hour time frame. So the next part of speculation is, are we going to be looking for one more push to the upside? Are we going to be going after the $70,000, and what are the trade opportunities here? The concern that I have here is that it's sharp decrease to the downside, and this relief rally that we've had afterwards are a signal that we might start to see a little bit more of selling pressure in the coming days. Okay, so on our 1 hour time frame, what are we looking at here? Well, we still see the potential for a bit further to the upside. Momentum on our 1 hour time frame does show that there's still this idea that we might rally up a little bit more, but the market has definitely been spooked since yesterday's activity. So a little bit more to the upside, probably retesting the additional highs that we saw at around that kind of $67,900 level, but ultimately another retest of the 50 EMA, 50 SMA, or even the 200 EMA here on the hourly chart. So from our kind of point of view here, we can see that it is still the potential idea that we have another run to the upside, maybe even pushing for $69,000 in a three-way fashion, i.e. we have something to this effect like that, right? That's possible. On the flip of that, though, we can be a little bit more conservative potentially here as well by thinking, again, in that kind of range of 68.5 to 69,000 as a potential possibility, and then for a short position. Our momentum indicator on the hourly chart looks okay, but it doesn't look as strong on the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame shows us with bearish momentum potentially here, with the stochastic RSI, the yellow line, looking to cross down lower than the moving average of stochastic. The 8 hour also shows some interesting volatility as well, up in the overbought area, along with the daily time frame, which we'll look at in a moment. Okay, so for our positions here on the hourly chart, the smaller time frame stuff, we want to be thinking about what potentially is likely to happen next. You can see that there was some bearish divergence flagging as well as we were going up into that peak. As you can see up here, we come in here, we see the bearish divergence flag, and then we jump on back down, right? So some bearish divergence, again, has been a big indication for us. And at the moment, we are in some really interesting points of view from the relative strength index. We find support on this mid-level, so it still has potential bullish vibes on the 1 hour time frame, but it still, to me, looks like we are going to be looking for a big correction for Bitcoin soon. You can see here that the selling volume was significantly higher than the buying volume, even though we had that run to the upside most recently. You can see basically buying volume was strong, but the selling volume was even stronger. And as we started to push back up, we can see volumes are dropping back down. So this is a weak move to the upside, in my opinion. Therefore, I think the opportunity here is to think about short positions. Okay, so we have a couple of options. Maybe we push up into this upper area once again. I think the stop loss has to be above $70,000 for this to really kind of work out. So I'll be looking for a stop loss at around, I'm going to put it at $70,500 approximately. And then we're going to look for a bigger move to the downside and target out 1.5 on the risk reward ratio. This to me will be a slightly higher risk play for the fact that it's going to take some time to play out. This isn't going to be something that happens in a single day, but it is looking for that 200 EMA move. Okay, so I predict that we are likely to see a retest of the highs that we saw yesterday, and then we are potentially going to be looking for that 200 EMA, maybe a little bit lower, and that's going to be our 1.5 risk reward ratio trade opportunity. The stop loss being above the $70,000 level is going to be key, because that's going to set a daily higher high if we were to do that. So on our hourly chart, I think the opportunity is to, if you really wanted to kind of go long on like a 15-minute time frame, but I think on the hourly hourly chart here, once we kind of push up a little bit more, we want to be thinking about the short positions for BTC. And talking about trading, Blowfin are killing it with their promotional activity at the minute. If you're new to Blowfin, this is your chance to grab a slice of a massive 60,000 USDT prize pool. Yes, Blowfin is rolling out an awesome promotion where new users can earn their share of 60,000 USDT just for signing up, predicting Champion League results, and trading on their platform. Blowfin, one of the rising crypto exchanges, is giving new users the opportunity to win big. How? By signing up and participating in trading. You can get your share of 60,000 USDT. Whether you're a seasoned trader or new to the game, Blowfin is making it rewarding for everyone to jump in. Here's how you can participate. Step 1. Sign up on Blowfin using the referral link in the description. Step 2. Start trading on the platform, where your trades will count towards the tickets and points for the prize pool. Step 3. By being an active trader, you'll be eligible for more tickets, points, and your share of 60,000 USDT rewards. This is an exclusive promotion offered by Blowfin. For all the terms and conditions, click the link in the description. This promotion, of course, is not affiliated with YouTube or Cheeky Crypto in any way, but is a fantastic promotion offered by Blowfin. So what are you waiting for? This is a limited time offer, and you definitely don't want to miss out on your chance to grab some USDT. Hit that link in the description, sign up to Blowfin, start trading, and get in on your chance to win big. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity with Blowfin. Sign up, trade, and claim your share of that 60,000 USDT prize pool. Good luck and happy trading. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll this up into a daily time frame, because this is where things can start to really get interesting. Now, for the most part, some people will say that we've gone up into a higher high on the daily time frame. I still take a look at the approach on this that we haven't yet done such a thing. We are going to be having to break up higher than our swing high of July 29th, in my opinion. Okay, and the reason for that is that we are still inside this structure here of this Y wave move, right? So we saw the 3-wave collapse, we see this run to the upside. Now it's possible for us to be pushing up higher on that Y wave. Okay, it's definitely something that we need to kind of consider, and that is going to be the big breakout that a lot of people are going to be really confident about. But until we kind of see those higher highs, and this one does show with the potential for $74,000 to $78,000, which would be a new all-time high and a bigger break to the upside. The problem that I have here is that there's no guarantee of such a move. Okay, this move up here at the moment can still be explained through other measures. Okay, so it's good to see that we've had a bit of a run to the upside, but until we can get past $70,000, I still suspect to see more volatility for BTC's price action. As I've been talking about for the last few kind of weeks or so, there's still the potential here, because we haven't had a higher high on this kind of zoomed out view, for a $40,000 Bitcoin. Now, I think there's a low probability of that. The higher that we actually go in this relief rally, the higher our lows will be. So no longer do I think $40,000 to $44,000 has a high probability. I'm going to remove this from the chart to prevent any further confusion. But we still have to kind of look at this through a bearish lens, where we had a big sell-off coming down here to 49,000, right? So taking 70,000 to 49,000, it was a big sell-off event. And it is a straight drop almost. And that's the problem that we have, because whilst it looks like a straight drop here for Bitcoin, it means that we need to kind of consider that this relief rally, this WXY that I have plotted out, is basically only going to be finding resistance and still a relief rally for a bigger sell-off. And it still looks to me like we're going to be dropping down towards 49,000 or lower, right? So double bottom is my minimum expectation at 49, but there's still the possibility now that this looks more likely to be somewhere in that range of 44 to 48,000. Okay, so the higher that we push, the better it is from the kind of accumulation or the dump that would happen afterwards. The concerns are that we are in an area where buyers are getting exhausted. There's not a huge amount of demand coming in, right? We have the leverage positions that we were talking about from the news, but we're not really seeing a lot of new spot coming in here. There's a few inflows on ETFs, sure, that helps fuel a few things, but we're not seeing the kind of retail investors really coming in. And again, we see lots of different things going on in the news as well, with search volumes for Bitcoin being significantly lower. So although there's some positive stuff in the media, we've got Tesla holding Bitcoin, we've got them moving it around, you've got inflows happening, you've got open interest showing, some interesting leverage positions. It still doesn't negate the fact that there isn't a lot of spot volume coming in here. There's not a lot of demand. This is something that we can see from the volume profiles as well. As we zoom out, we can really take into consideration what the volumes looked like during kind of 2022 and 2023 versus where they are today. That's not to say that the volumes can't be bullish. I mean, we can take a look at volumes of 2020. They are still significantly higher than where we are today. And 2021, we saw significant volumes higher. Not as high as 2022 or 2023, but you kind of get the idea. Ultimately, we aren't quite ready for that next big run, in my opinion, and we're looking for just one more correction before we can have that kind of true level of adoption, or that true kind of interest coming in from a spot point of view to take us up higher. So from a Bitcoin kind of daily standpoint, we obviously have the kind of ideas that maybe we go short. Obviously, I spoke about those on the hourly chart, but the same thing can be done here on the daily time frame, right? We look for those entries. We look to kind of bring this down in at least towards the 200 EMA to see whether we can still turn it into support. Stop loss can be sat at a new all-time high if we want. 1.5 risk-reward ratio. Again, some huge opportunities in my opinion. Of course, if any of these things get broken, we can flip those bearish short positions into bullish positions quite quickly should we start to see bullish signals flashing. But from a trading point of view, we just think that actually there's a higher probability of the market correcting down than breaking out to the upside. And an indication of that was yesterday with what we saw, with a bit of a move to the upside and an immediate knee-jerk reaction to the downside. Liquidations occurring on both sides. So for Bitcoin, I'm still quite optimistic about the future. It does look like 2025 is going to be a good year. We are looking for appreciation up to $120,000, $130,000 in my opinion, testing out this higher curved line across the multiple cycles. So for Bitcoin, it does look okay. It's good to see some green in the market, but I don't think it's going to be that long-lived. I'd love to be wrong about that. I would like to see new all-time highs. I just actually think that there's a higher probability that we're likely to see corrections to the downside first. Momentum-wise, on our daily time frame, as I said, we are up in this overbought area, so it's not the strongest. Our weekly time frame has progressed quite nicely to the upside, but it isn't the first time that we've seen a knee-jerk reaction on the weekly time frame. The monthly is correcting down towards the mid-level as well. So this correction that we've been in since kind of March, it's still kind of going, right? We're not in oversold or anything like that. We could be here for a while yet, okay, 2024 or the rest of 2024, I should say. So it'd be interesting to see how the monthly kind of goes, whether we end up with some strong monthly positions or not. But here you can see on our monthly time frame that we are still in lower highs and lower lows, right? So we want to be bearing these things in mind, in my humble opinion, when it comes to BTC. But of course, everything that I've spoken about today is kind of my thoughts and opinions on where I think Bitcoin is, what's going to happen next, what's going on in the news. You guys can let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, or join us in our free Discord server, and I'd love to continue the conversation there. If you found this video helpful and informative, smash the like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, and if you haven't done so already, check out this video right here. It's not one you're gonna want to miss.